This is the compact sedan that Honda has. They redesigned it a little bit this year. I feel that it's a lot more refined than it has been. Most of the redesigns taking place on the interior and the rear of the car. They've also done upgrades so that there is a backup camera and Bluetooth available standard throughout the entire line at every trim level. I love the way it feels, especially on the inside with how refined it feels. You know, there's it looks like there's stitching along the dash, and they redesigned the radio stack on there and made the multi-informational display a little bit better. So it feels, more refined, more sophisticated. It's the regular Civic, the LX, the EX, and the EXL, which is the three ones we sell the most of. It's 39 miles per gallon. So there, I mean, and the combination with it has the Eco-Assist feedback and the Econ button again. I actually have a friend who had a 2012 Civic which had both of those features, and she told me that she was getting 45 miles per gallon on the highway and 35 in the city. And now obviously, and in this case literally, your mileage may vary depending on how you drive, but it is possible to get a lot better. And you know, those features don't really exist, especially for free, outside of the Honda. There are some features that try to come close, but they try, you know, A for effort, but it's not the same. So yeah, it's definitely there. We have the hybrid, which gets the 44 miles per gallon. We have the HF, which is the high efficiency model. It's still all gas, but it gets 41 miles per gallon. There is the SI, which obviously is not as fuel efficient. It's the sporty version, but it is a blast to drive. And then there's also the compressed natural gas model. So there's a model for everyone out there. You know, you just have to find the right one for you, but it's out there. 4-cylinder engine in this one. You have the Ace body structure. The 4-cylinder engine, I'm just jumping back and forth here. The 4-cylinder engine does contribute to really good fuel economy on it. 39 miles per gallon, like I said earlier, which using the Eco-Assist feedback and the Econ button is potential to be a lot higher. The Ace body structure for that protection, so that way, if heaven forbid you should get into an accident, no matter what level or direction or angle someone hits you from, you've got the protection of the frame there to help keep the engine from ending up in your lap. And you combine that with the crumple zones, and you'll see why Hondas are some of the safest cars out there. One cool little feature that I love in here has to do with the windshield washer fluid. Now in this one, it's like most cars where you can't see the entire windshield washer reservoir. So you can go out, let's say it's a cold winter's day, it just snowed, there's mag chloride all over the highway. You want to make sure that you're not going to run out of washer fluid while you're heading there, you know, while you're heading to work in the morning, so that way you don't end up blind on the road. So with the washer fluid here, there's actually a dipstick. So you can see exactly how much washer fluid you have. And there is a warning that'll show up inside when you're low, but this way you can really stay on top of it. In here, everything's very easy to find, easy to look at. You know, with the dipstick, I can tell you what the washer fluid is. I can see the brake fluid's good. If I just lean inside a little bit to here, I can see if the coolant's good. So it's very easy to look at everything, to maintain the car. Everything's very easy to get to on it. So with the ABS over here, there's again one line for each wheel. So that added redundancy, it's just more fail-safe in there, increasing the safety of the car. Like I said, the difference comes down to a lot of styling and the backup camera is new for them, and then having Bluetooth throughout the entire range. So the big difference is right there. So, and Honda's coming to, you know, looking at that safety feature with the backup camera and the Bluetooth. And one of the cool things about the backup camera is that the backup camera on Hondas have guidelines to them. Now, some other cars don't have guidelines. You just see what you see. The guidelines are really, really helpful, because then you can see sort of if you'll fit into a parking space. You know, you'll see those guidelines. Hey, those guidelines are fitting, so that means I can fit. You know, there's marks to gauge how close you're getting to something. Some cars feature the proximity sensors, but the thing with the proximity sensor is if you're between here and here, it's the same noise. So with this, though, you can literally see how close you are to something. And I love it. You know, I've been in a lot of cars with backup cameras. I'm really, really a fan of those. And the Bluetooth is great, too, because, you know, especially in this day and age, people are realizing more and more and more that, you know, it's not the best idea to be talking on your phone, holding your phone up to your head while you're driving. And so to have that Bluetooth system integrated into the car is huge for safety, because now you can get a phone call, you know, talk with the other person, and then hang up, and your hands never have to leave the steering wheel, because that's where the Bluetooth controls are. So that's huge for safety. So in here, this is the EX trim level, so it does come with cloth seats. But as you can see, this is a lot more refined than the 2012 Civic. I mean, if you just look over at the door here, you've got that simulated leather with the simulated stitching on it. You have the all-electric locks, windows, and mirrors. The seat here is manual, but it is completely adjustable. I mean, you can bring it up, you can bring it down, lean forward and back, push it forward and back here. Got the traction control here, the Econ button. Now, if I were to turn it on, you could see the whole dashboard light up here. So I would show you these blue lines here on either side of the speed. That's the EcoAssist feedback. Now, as you drive more efficiently, those lines will turn green and then progressively greener. So that way it trains you to be a more efficient driver. When you combine that with the Econ button, it can really, really help you out. Like I told you about my friend who has a 2012 Civic that has both of these systems in it, and she gets 45 miles per gallon on the highway and 35 in the city. And like I said, you know, literally in this case, your mileage may vary, but it is possible. Performance is good. I like the way it drives. You know, it's a compact car, but it does really, really well. I think, you know, I've never had any issues where it didn't accelerate fast enough, or it wasn't able to hold its own or keep up with traffic. It handles great. You know, it's very, very nimble in how it handles. It really, really does a good job. So here you've got the Bluetooth controls here, radio controls. You got the display controls up here, cruise controls. The radio stack here is just so much more refined. It's got almost a simulated wood grain here, very similar to what the Accord has. And another great feature that you've got here on the EX, it's not dual zone. You have to go to the EXL for that one, but it does have climate control. You can set a temperature and it will get that. So that is a really, really great feature. With most cars, it's dual zone or nothing. And here there's another option to it, another level. Got the one-touch open and close moonroof here. A lot of great features. You have the auxiliary inputs down here, or one of them anyways. Added storage here. Lots of stuff. It does have the USB port. It does have the headphone jack input. So, and Bluetooth streaming. So there's many, many ways you can get your device to play music over the stereos. It's designed to work with almost everything. It definitely can be. I mean, I have actually a lot of experience as a full-grown adult riding in the back seat of a Civic, because that's what my future brother-in-law drives. You know, and sometimes go out with him and my sister, and obviously I'm the one who ends up in the back seat, and I can tell you, it's not cramped. You know, I'm an average-sized adult male, and I fit just fine in there. And if I can fit just fine, there's no problem putting kids back there, you know. So it would work really, really well as a family car, I promise. It's not too small for that. It's a great size for it. All right, so in here, this is the trunk. Does have a two-piece folding rear seat. Now this one has the all-season protection package on it, which I highly recommend for people. I mean, I've got it on my car. So this does come with a with a trunk tray in there to help keep the inside, cleaner and in better shape. And it does have a lot of room in there. Once again, being a hockey goalie, I know I can fit my gear in this trunk, which is saying a lot for a compact car. I normally can't do that. Normally, I have to split some between the trunk and the back seat, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt. Here, I know I'll be able to get it done. The main comments that I've been hearing is about how much more refined it looks. People who maybe weren't necessarily satisfied with the 2012 offering, and they see it and they're like, this feels so upscale. I love the way it feels, and like I said, the simulated stitching on the dashboard and everything, and then the new radio stack in the middle, it just combines to give it a really, really refined feel. And I think it's just something that you have to see, and you'll be amazed by it. You really will be. So this is a very, very good car. And I think for the person who is looking at a compact sedan, you cannot find one better than the Civic.